Hey, what's up guys? It's Dustin with Weapon Stencils, and we're going to be shooting a little series of videos here that are a little different than the rest of our videos. We figure if you guys like guns and outdoor stuff, you probably like camping, and we're avid campers here in the Weapon Stencils family. And we just bought this trailer that I'm sitting in now, so I wanted to kind of go over some things that I learned through the buying process. So if you're out there looking to buy a trailer, maybe I can help you out. So I'm going to go through like 5 different points to bring up, but first off, this video isn't for your full-time RVers out there. When I searched YouTube and I was looking for a lot of things on buying tips and all that other stuff, I found a lot of videos for all those guys that are out there full-time in it, or 6 months out of the year. They have some job that they don't have to report to every day, and they can work by computer and just travel the world with their kids. That ain't me. Listen, I work 70 hours a week, this job and another. My wife works. We got 2 kids in school. We're locked down. We like to get away and get out in the woods as much as we can, and since we got this trailer, we have a lot more options to do that with. We've been camping for 15 years. I'm not going to sit here and debate whether you should buy a trailer or not. Obviously, you probably are thinking about buying one if you're watching this video. So this is assuming that you've made that decision, you think it's in the best interest of you and your family, and you go from there. Obviously, if it's in the best interest of your family, then budget has already been considered. The type of trailers that I'm really talking about here are your sale prices that are going to be in the high teens to probably your mid 30s. Most of those trailers, the quality is about the same. I got a family, I got 2 kids and a wife, and so that's the type of trailers that we're considering. There's lots of different styles, lots of different types, lots of different tiers, and a lot more money you can spend. This is for that weekend warrior family out there that likes to get out 2-3 nights at a time, 7-8 times a year at least, and get away from the electronics and the TV and all the stuff you got going on at home, and just get away out in the woods and show your kids a good time for a few nights. So let's get into it. Tip 1. The first thing you got to consider before you're buying anything that's towable is what the hell are you towing it with? Because if you got the minivan sitting out in the driveway and a 2002 Honda Civic, your options are kind of limited. You're probably looking at a pop-up, and this video isn't for you. This is assuming you have a truck or some sort of pull vehicle that can pull an actual trailer. Obviously, you got 3 tiers of trucks. Go watch a video on all that, but you got your 150, your 250, and your 350, half-ton, 3/4 ton, and 1-ton trucks. A lot of these trailers nowadays, the one I got, this trailer is huge, and I can pull it with my half-ton Silverado 1500. Don't just assume that because you have a truck, you can pull it. My truck is only a half-ton, so it's not a 250 or 350. However, it is a 6.2 liter V8. If you have a small V6 truck, you might not be able to pull the size trailer you think you can, even if the dealer is telling you, oh yeah, you're good, just go pull that thing. It's not safe. You're putting your family in your truck. If that trailer rolls on you, your truck's going with it, and so is your family. So consider that. Make sure, please, you do your research on not just tow capacity, but payload capacity. The amount of weight that you can put on the ball of that hitch that can sit on your rear axle. That is the biggest difference between the half-ton and the full-ton pickup trucks. You really need to do your research and know what you're pulling. That was the first thing I had to go off of, because I wanted to know what type of trailer I could buy. I wanted to probably get the biggest one I could, but I needed to get something fairly light. The trailer that I'm sitting in now is it's a 35-foot trailer. It's big, but it's an ultralight edition. It's aluminum frame, fiberglass hull, so it only, dry weight's only about 6,500 pounds, which is really light for a trailer of this size. Most trailers, if you get them that aren't an ultralight model, that aren't made with some of the light features that this one's made with, you're talking in the 9,000 to 10,000. My truck can pull over 12,000 pounds. That doesn't mean I should put 12,000 pounds behind the truck, because my payload is probably going to max out on that hitch, and I'm going to run into issues. The other benefit I have is that we live in Florida. I live in the southern end of Florida. It takes me 6 hours just to get out of this state. It takes me at least 8 to get to some really decent hills, if not 9 to get past Atlanta, north of Georgia. So I'm almost pulling exclusively on flat land, so I don't have to worry about going up and down mountains. If that's a consideration for you, if you're in the Smokies, the Rockies, anywhere else where you got a lot of hills to deal with, you're going to need a beefier truck to pull a bigger trailer. Really get that locked in first. A lot of people think they can just go buy a trailer and then and then you're pulling it with something you shouldn't be pulling, and then you're gonna wreck your truck and cause a lot of maintenance issues, and it's just not safe. A 1A to the truck situation and what you're pulling with is storage. Where I live, I can't store it at my house. I had to pre-plan where I'm going to store this enormous trailer. Obviously, I can't store it at the house. Am I going to pay somewhere to have it stored? If you are looking to pay somewhere to have it stored, you could be paying upwards of $100, $150 a month to park a trailer this size. I was lucky enough to have something through my job where I could park it for free. So that was a benefit to me that allowed me to purchase this trailer and factor that into my budget. Tip 2. So we've talked about trucks and we've talked about the size of the trailer. Really think about it. I did a ton of research on how big of a trailer I wanted to get. So if you're like me, you got the kids, you're trying to get them out there, and you're wondering, what should I get as far as, size wise? And there's two different styles. Most people with kids are probably looking at what's called a bunkhouse trailer. And there's two styles of that. There's the one over here where you can kind of see in the corner. This is the corner of like the dining room area. That would really end right about here. There might be a bathroom or something behind this, and there'd be basically some corner bunks where they're just kind of bunks stacked on top of each other, and it's open except minus a curtain that closes it off from the rest of this kitchen, living room, all purpose area that we have. Those bunks are fairly small and there's no privacy. So when I started thinking about it and realized, yeah, my kids are small right now, but in 3-4 years, they're gonna be a lot bigger, and that small little bunk that they're squeezing into in the corner is going to be an issue. Also, I have a daughter, and if you have girls, they like their privacy, and what I ended up going with was a full-size bunkhouse in the back. This one happens to have a rear slide out in the back. I didn't feel like it was completely necessary. Now that I have it, I could get away without it. However, they have a physical door that they can shut. They go in there, they hit their bunks, they go to sleep. If one of them needs to change clothes, one can come out here into the main area and the other one can close the door and have some privacy if they need to. Plan ahead. It's a big thing. If your truck can pull it, go bigger. If your budget can afford it, I would suggest going bigger. My best friend bought a small pop-up, and less than a year later, he's buying one the size that I'm sitting in right now, just because he's got 3 kids and they realized that the pop-up just ain't cutting it for what they were using it for. If that's your goal, then cool. If that's all you want to do is go on the smaller end and go with the pop-up and do that. But if you're already going to spend, a certain amount of money and you're making that big investment, especially if you're financing it, going up another 10 to 15, maybe 20% in price to get the bigger model really is not going to cost you that much in the long run. What's really going to cost you is if you get the smaller model and in 2 years you're like, crap, I need to upgrade. And now you're underwater on your loan and you got to try to flip this thing, get rid of it, and go to a bigger model. And if you don't like your trailer and it's too small, you're not going to use it, and that's going to lose you money too. So my personal suggestion is take it for what it's worth, is set your budget, figure out what your truck can pull, and then get the biggest one you can. I did that. That's how I started, and then I started working on what trailer I wanted from there. 3, don't get wooed by the salesman and all the features of the new trailer. If you're looking at the type of trailer that I mentioned earlier in this budget range and this family-friendly weekend warrior type of trailer, they're all basically the same. They're all, I'm not gonna lie to you, they're kind of made like crap. Like the insides are super light because they have to be because you're towing it, but that also means they're kind of cheap. So like the thin little walls are held with like staples and small little nails. They're not, everything's not like screwed into place. It's fragile in here, to say the least. Not to say it's not nice, but they're all basically like this. Yeah, there's a little bit higher tiers, the Grand Designs and some of the nicer models. They do feel a little bit more premium. Maybe they got a porcelain toilet instead of a plastic one, and little things like that. But for the most part, there's not a whole lot of difference. And me using this thing at the most 8-10 times a year, I'm not worried about it. I'm not living in it. If I was living in it, yeah, I might need something a little hardier. But for me, this is perfect. I've been living in a tent, or not living, but camping in a tent for 15 years. This is like staying at the freaking Ritz when we go camping. So it's all good. Listen, all the 2018s, the 2019s, whatever model year you're looking at when you watch this video, they all have the latest stuff. They got the LED lights and the accent lighting and the Bluetooth radio system and the speakers outside and, you know, the DVD player that no one even owns DVDs anymore. So, but, you know, and then, oh, it comes with a TV, and it should come with a TV. If it doesn't come with a TV in the living room, the dealership's screwing you. It should come with your propane tanks outside already, whether they're full or not. If they're not coming with the tanks, they're screwing you. Those are standard. Don't let them make it seem like this is a huge upgrade, that they're doing you a huge favor. Those are standard. They're coming with the trailer no matter what. So that leads me to number 4. Focus on the big features. Don't get wooed by the small stuff. If you've ever bought a car, what's the first thing they want to do is take you for a test drive, right? The salesman wants to get you in a car because it's a car you're already considering buying. You're there talking about it. And have you ever been in a car, a brand new car, and test drove it and been like, oh man, this car's terrible? No, they're nice. There's a reason they're nice. They're new. Everything new is nice. So that's what they're trying to fix you into, is those small things. Worry about the big stuff. And those big things you don't need to see in person. You need to research what you and your family need and then find the trailer that matches those specs. I had specific things that I wanted in my trailer. I wanted the rear bunkhouse. Obviously, I got that. I wanted the outdoor kitchen, and I would rather have the full-size one than the half one. Half one is still good, but I preferred the full-size kitchen, and this trailer had that. I wanted the slide out in the living room, which is pretty standard in most of these, to give yourself a little bit of space. And then this one that I did find had the rear slide out in the bunkhouse. Based on my budget and what I could pull, this allowed me to have that. The other big features that I liked about this trailer was the master bedroom. The master bedroom, it's not very master sized, but it's got a king size bed in it. I'm 6'2". My wife is fairly tall as well. So the idea of going from, you know, being able to sleep in the same size bed we sleep in at our house was kind of a huge benefit. Honestly, like some of the beds in these are not even queens, they're like short queens almost. So my feet would have undoubtedly been hanging off the edge. So the idea of having a king size bed in that master bedroom was nice. Some other things, some other big features, obviously the weight, like I said, the kitchen, the bunkhouse. I took all of those basically and put them into a filter and started searching for trailers that matched what I wanted. This one also has the second exterior door to the bathroom. And I really wanted that when I was looking. I did not want to have all the kids and everybody traipse through the interior of the trailer and get it dirty just to use the bathroom real quick when they could just pop in and pop out of the outside door. In hindsight, we always find a reason to come in here and grab something and end up in the bathroom. We haven't used that door as much as I expected, and it does take up counter space. I'm going to shoot another video reviewing all that kind of stuff. But that was a feature that I wanted. So that was another thing that went into the filter on my decision to buy, and that's what led me to this trailer. I didn't look for brand first. I looked for features first, and then found the brand that fit that. Because like I said, most of these are all the same anyway. 5, actually buying the thing. So, did a ton of research. I actually looked for trailers for a year before we made the decision to finally buy one, and I decided on the one I wanted. And it took me a good 9 or 10 months to lock into this brand and this specific trailer before I started haggling and buying. A lot of the forums and places that you read online say go to an RV show, you're going to get the best price, and there are a number of them around me down here in South Florida. There's a huge one in Tampa for the whole like southeast section of the United States. It's really big. I went to another local one and I got to see a good amount of trailers. The RV shows are great because you get to see a lot of different brands, and that's where I learned that a lot of these things are pretty much the same inside. They look really nice and you step in and you're like, ooh, this is really nice. And you step in the next one, ooh, this is really nice. And you realize, okay, yeah, but they're all basically the same. There was only one model, and I can't forget the brand that I stepped into that I could tell was a little bit more premium. But then again, some of those features also caused the price to go up, and it was also heavier, so it took it out of my towing capacity. So that got nixed anyway. So going to the RV show is good. It gives you a chance to really see all the trailers and get an idea. But have an open mind when you go and really look at the big features and what you really think you want to use, and not just the little things and how nice the chrome faucet looks or how nice the fake wood floors are. Look at the big features. As far as buying at the RV show, I am not good at haggling in person. I know that about myself. I can't sit down with a salesman and go back and forth 10 times and do all that. I hate it. It's annoying to me. It feels like a waste of my time. And I just have the tendency to go, fine, whatever, and just take the first or second offer when I know I could have got 4 or 5 more offers down the road. That being said, I did kind of get an idea for how the prices work. And you're going to look at probably 25 to 40% off of MSRP. None of these dealerships advertise MSRP. If they're advertising a price, it's probably their dealer price, and you can even get a good another amount, maybe another 10-15% off of that. But find the MSRP. For reference sake, I did about 38% off MSRP on this trailer. And obviously the higher price you go, the bigger trailer you go, the more you can take off. You got to keep that in mind. But do not get fooled by the advertising price. Oh, this is on sale. You can still get a better price. What I chose to do was locked into the trailer that I wanted and started looking for dealers. The nearest dealer to me was an hour and a half away. Not a big deal. Willing to go get it. I started dealing with them directly online. Every dealer, car dealership, RV dealer, whoever, they have an online salesperson. It's 2018, almost 2019 at the time I'm shooting this video, or the time I actually get it up online. So they all got online salespeople. They'll deal with you through email. If they refuse to, I would not deal with them, because what kind of dealership doesn't take online sales? I got them down to a price I thought I could, that I thought was pretty decent, but I was, at the same time, I found a dealer all the way up in Ohio that was a short distance away from the manufacturer that was advertising the absolute lowest prices on this model. They were guaranteeing that they had the lowest prices because they had access to the dealer or the manufacturer. So I went through them. I got quotes from them, even with their transport fee to get the trailer all the way down from Ohio to me down here in South Florida, basically delivered to my door. It was cheaper than the price I was getting from the local dealer. So I would rather deal locally. I'm just kind of like, hey, let me deal with a local Florida company. And the other thing is, I want somebody that I know I can take it to if there's an issue or a warranty problem. So, but I was willing to have this thing shipped from Ohio if it meant I got a better price, because it is what it is. Money's money. I'm not giving it away. So I took that price, sent it to my Florida dealer, and said, hey, you match this, we got a deal. I'd rather deal with you, but I'm going to buy it from them if you can't. They came back and said, okay, all right, we'll match it. There was a done deal at that point. I pretty much had that all worked out. When I showed up at the dealership, all I had to do was come in and sign the paperwork. I put the deposit down or over the phone on a credit card or something. And then I just had to come in and sign the paperwork, do the loan application and do all that, and had that all done. One thing I can say about when you pick up your trailer, if you do that process where you're not right there, and even if you are buying in person, be prepared to leave the trailer. That's something I wasn't prepared to do, and I think I got fairly lucky because I did not want to have to make that hour and a half, 3 hour round trip drive again to pick it up. But be prepared to leave it, because you are going to do a complete walkthrough of this thing. I'm talking head to toe, top to bottom. If you've never been in one, have them show you how to work everything. Bring a notebook, bring a video camera, write down notes, whatever you have to do, because I'm telling you, when you take this thing out 3 weeks later or 2 months later, you're going to forget how to work the water heater or turn the refrigerator on. And YouTube is helpful, but it's a pain in the butt to look up videos for every little thing you want to do. So bring some notes and have it done. And when you're doing that walkthrough, you're going to find crap that's wrong. Like I said, these things are mass produced, they're produced quickly, and they're produced cheaply. Because I basically bought a small apartment for, a fraction of the cost it would cost me here in Florida. So be prepared to leave it. If there's a major issue with the trailer, don't take it, because you're gonna have to bring it back, and it's immediately gonna get placed into a warranty phase, and it's gonna take you months to get it back. I personally feel like if it's going to affect the sale, or you say, hey, I'm not signing off on the paperwork until this is fixed, it's going to get fixed a lot faster. As soon as you sign that paperwork, give them the money and drive that trailer away, they are less concerned about you. It's a fact of life. You can go to the nicest dealer in the world, the nicest salesperson in the world, whatever it is, they are far less concerned about you than if you say, I'm not giving you this money until this is fixed. I guarantee you it's going to get fixed faster than if you bring the trailer back in a month and try to go through a warranty process. So definitely try to not be in a hurry, plan ahead, and know that if there's an issue, you need it fixed before you leave with it. All right, guys, that's about it. I really hope that I helped out all my weekend warriors and American dads out there just looking to get their kids outside, because I'm not the full-timer. I'm hoping to get out in this thing 8-10 times a year if I'm lucky. Maybe a little bit more, maybe probably a little bit less. But if you're one of those guys out there just looking to get this done, I'm hoping this video helps. Just for reference sake, I know I didn't mention it earlier in the video because I was kind of staying away from it, but I'm in a CruiserRV MPG ultralight bunkhouse. It's like about the 35-foot model. I'm gonna shoot another video doing a walkthrough as well as a review on some of the things I like and don't like about it, so you guys can see. I love the features of it. We love being in it. My kids love it. I haven't had any major issues. A couple small things that I've fixed myself, which haven't been a big deal. But like I said, hopefully this helped. Stay tuned. I may be uploading this at the same time as I upload a couple other videos. If not, I'll get a review up soon on this one. So thanks a lot for watching. If you guys have any questions, post the comments below. I will help you out as much as I can. This is my first trailer, the first one I've ever bought, the first one I've ever been in and used and slept in. So if you're in that same boat as me, hopefully I can answer some questions. But if you're looking for how do I live in this thing, I'm not the guy for you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.